6-2 and 6-3 matches pretty fast. Last week,
Fruit seems to make Stancifka play better.
Definitely.
So why wouldn't Fruit make us cast better? We should try it.
Yeah, I think it's an excellent point, actually. I mean, something to really think about that game was you look at holding on the devolve. Suddenly the Tyrion hit. Bam. Devolve's right there. I mean, granted, they were Dreadlighting, but yeah.
But now they have summoned again. So what's the two going to have to do to play against a summon? Do they have any decks left in their lineup that are going to be good against a summon?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Warlock's there. Warlock, of course, can just blow up boards. That's one of the big things about summons. They have to keep a board in order to really be playing effectively. They don't have a board. You know, what good does it do?
Yeah, but what match is just good investigators, so.
No, pretty much, I think you flip the board part. You know, how far you're going to file. Even when Shaman could be checked for the mirror match at a certain point. It's pretty easy to beat up all their stuff. Unless you're just trying to like play your own deck that has to do the board stuff. Well, that's where Shaman can be really difficult.
Bull. Bull.
I forgot the point.
There we go. Oh, we can still win! Fiery Bat!
Fiery Bat. Okay, yeah, take it. Kodo, please. Wow, the boar.
Wait, so we should just board now, right? That is the highest chance we have of winning right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, unless we think... Wait, what did we pick? We picked Fiery Bat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it can attack, so we can even Houndmaster it, right?
Yeah, so we have a 1 and 3.
1 and 3. After we already missed the 1 and 3, I think.
Wait, never mind. We have a 1 and 4. Alright, here we go. Yeah!
So intense!
No! I wanted it so bad!
oh man.
Fire Bat, why don't you hit face anymore, man? You used to be a world champion.
Tried to attack, but
Those
that's going to be
mechanics.
Misfits taking game number 1 with quite a cool warrior deck. Just sort of a removal heavy.
What a risk to take, too, queuing up like an anti-aggro warrior deck in game number 1. You're just hoping that your opponent is playing an aggro deck.
Yeah.
Stancifka snacking as always. Yeah, here's a plum. Victory plum.
Victory plum.
Tastes so sweet.
Oh, man. But there you go. Misfits with the warrior win. Yeah, I like the fact that you mentioned it's a pretty big risk, but a lot of teams have been opening with Rogue. And G2, they've opened with Rogue a lot of the weeks.
Yeah, and Warrior does have a fairly strong success rate versus Rogue. You know, you would think that it can struggle a lot of times, but that was the Kellis Shadow Step opener, and Misfits blew up every single minion they played.
Now, granted, G2 did not draw well after that Prince Kellis set. They drew all their utility stuff. They had a bunch of weapons and kept drawing weapons. They drew back-to-back Swashburglars, which didn't pull very good things, except, well, Malkorok.
Malkorok's pretty good. They got a Gorehowl off the Malkorok.
Malkorok worked against them because while they got Gorehowl, they then drew Shadowblade into another Shadowblade.
But mind you,
I don't know. I think everyone runs the...
George just wants to have fun, man.
He's focusing on the important aspects of competitive gaming, tilting your opponent with fun.
It did seem like G2 was a little tilted by some of the plays there. They were arguing back and forth, a lot of the points there. Arguing about things that didn't seem like they really mattered either. You know, plays that happened in the past that were very similar. RDU has been really passionate about some of the lines of plays that he's wanted to go with, but he hasn't been the pilot, which means overruled.
Yeah, there is a post-mortem session to talk about those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Do not debate in the series and cause this weird dissent. That's like the last thing that you'd want to do. It's pretty rough.
Yeah, and Misfits takes the win with Shaman. And so they're going to be on the Shaman again. And, you know, there's a lot of things that are going right for Misfits. And, you know, Stancifka, is the fruit the key?
It very much could be. I mean, when you're sitting at home and you're comfortable and you're doing what you always do, it helps you think a lot. You know, at DreamHack, I heard a lot of players complain that because they didn't have in-game sound, that it was actually harder for them to focus because it was just white noise funneled into their ears. So I think feeling like you're at home is a very important factor.
George C coming up big for Misfits and even finds time to squeeze in some BM tactics. Why didn't we ping our own accolade and pretend like we didn't have lethal so we could tilt them?
Yeah, George C knows the place.
That's right.
And honestly, that was a bullet dodge there for Misfits because that's a matchup that could be very hard for Control Mage. But fortunately, they had double Doomsayer into Coin Medivh line, which basically let them out-pressure their opponent. You know, without that Medivh, you're kind of treading water for so long with a bunch of removal. So, very, very key win there.
Yeah, and I think this pocket that Misfits has found a timing for Mage is actually very deadly for Love You Lots since they have Shaman and Warlock remaining, and those are two classes extremely vulnerable to Mage right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. There's basically, no matter what Warlock variant they're playing, it's going to have a hard time with this deck. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Shaman be the deck that they choose here, just to try to win off of Doppelgangster Evolve plays. But, you know, even with that, it's definitely not going to be easy.
Yeah, and again, I'm...
I'm wasted, my heart grows heavy. Don't taste me rushing, keep your words naked. You got me blushing. And forever I'll follow, you be my holy ground. You forever I'll follow.
They are just denying George at every step of the way.
They're denying G2 as well. That was the counter queue up slot for G2, and the Warrior failed to get it done. And that's with the addition of the Wild Pyromancer and the Commanding Shout. Now, I will say that Misfits played this game pretty wonderfully. Their partitioning of resources led them to just absolute maximum spots. They used the first Mana Tide early on to prompt removal, and then they held the second Mana Tide until it was likely to stick around for a turn. The amount of time the game just went on, they eventually drew the Doppelgangster plus the Thrall. But I think that holding on to the Mana Tide just looks a lot better from the overhead perspective because they're so much more likely to stick it after they've seen a lot of removal.
Yeah, and Misfits looks pretty good in this series, and game number 5 is going to be coming up in just a few moments. We're going to have to take a very short break, so don't go anywhere. More Misfits versus G2 after this.
Nice.